And here we are live, Hippie Chicks Live. My girl Linda is trying to find the new link, and I think she got a little lost. So it's just you and me, kid. So happy Friday for you. Welcome here. We are Hippie Chicks Live. I'm Kat Kazemi, one of your guides. New link. Hang on. Guys, my apologies. We're having some technical difficulties this afternoon. Hang on a second. And there we go. All right, let's try that again. So anyhow, it's been a hell of a week, hasn't it, guys? Oh my goodness. I mean, not talking politically or globally or any of the craziness that's going on, but we lost I don't like to use the word lost. Two of our most iconic, legendary songwriters, composers, musicians transitioned this week, and it's been a lot to process, without question. So I've been listening to a lot of Sly and Family Stone, and listening to a lot of Beach Boys, without question. And Paul McCartney's right. Every time I listen to God Only Knows, it makes you cry. That is such an emotionally charged song that how grateful we should be for having that kind of music. Like I said, Paul McCartney was right. He said it was one of the best songs ever written. And I'm inclined to agree with him, but I would tell him that Let It Be and Yesterday are a close second. So without going too much further into that, I just wanted to throw my love in their direction, because they impacted the world in such a positively profound way, in spite of their mental health issues, because this isn't an easy world to live in. And I think Linda's coming down here because we're having technical difficulties. So she's coming down from her little upstairs apartment, and we're going to hang out here because that's really weird.
Yeah.
This is
so good.
It's all glitchy.
I'm here.
StreamYard is
There's a glitch in the matrix,
it's
but I'm
all
here.
glitchy. Yeah, speaking of
awesome.
glitches, there's people that are talking about they're like feeling timeline jumps, like serious. Like they'll be driving down a road and they'll turn a corner and it's like they're driving down the same road again.
Oh, I have had that. Yeah, I've had that happen.
And it's like, what?
Like way long ago. Yeah.
So yeah, crazy stuff happening. So if you're out there and you're able to comment, please do so. I have no idea where this is streaming other than New Reality TV. Hope you're enjoying New Reality TV, because it's a pretty awesome platform with some amazing content providers with some amazing skills and information for you. So be sure to check out everything else that's going on New Reality TV. But we're here every Friday, 4:00. Lord knows what we're going to talk about, right? It's different every time, and it's a little crazy.
We always have great conversations. Doesn't matter what's happening.
Yes, we do. And there's my Levi trying to get down. He wants to come over here and hang out.
And I got the girl back here.
Of course you do. Hi, Burfy. Hi. All right, Bubba. There's no room. We're gonna have to lay down right there, Chugga. All right. So, what I thought we would get into today, because obviously there's other topics that are grabbing the headlines these days.
Oh.
And all right, I got to scooch out a little bit. Here he comes. He's just going to be insistent. He's not taking no for an answer.
There's our diva. Are you hiding from the camera, diva?
Oh my goodness!
Wow,
that's a surprise.
She's got an attitude.
She's got well, what diva doesn't? Without
we
question.
don't pay her enough.
I want more sardines. So yeah, so there's a lot to look at, and you could drown in it, seriously.
Yeah.
And it's not pretty, it isn't, but it's a part of our evolution, because the infection has to come to the surface in order to heal it, and we're not moving forward until we reconcile what we need to reconcile. Let me just put it that way. Yeah. All right. So to shift the topic a little bit, because this is another subject du jour, if you will, and this also needs to come up to the surface. And it's the whole empath narcissist dynamic, right? Which has really come up to the surface in the last 5 years. And, people, calling it out and saying what it is. Cause, growing up, that just was the way it was. Right. We didn't know that there was an official name, even though I know the word narcissist get thrown around way too easily.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Most of these people are just profoundly wounded children with narcissistic tendencies.
Yes.
A true narcissist. Well, that was what I lived next door on 79th Street here in Virginia Beach. And he was also a little sociopath as well, but enough of the psychology there.
That's even more serious.
It's very serious. Yeah, that's a story for another day. And boy, howdy. But anywho, I was thinking about it because I have a friend of mine. She's in her late 50s. Her husband passed away about 4 years ago, and it was not necessarily a very happy marriage. Lot of tension. Let's put it that way. So. My friend suddenly, I know she didn't do her inner work because she immediately jumped into a relationship after 2 months after he passed. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? She's trying to hide from her emotions. And so I thought it would be interesting because it's not easy out there. And sometimes, people could put on a really good front and be super charming, super fat. Oh my God, you're everything I wanted in a person. Yeah. Right. And then you get totally invested, and next thing you know, it's a nightmare, right? So along with Ezra is the name of my chat GPT. I came up with, we came up with a list of just easy questions to ask while you're, dating particular people. I mean, the title of it is A Conscious Woman's Guide to Dating Without Losing Her Damn Mind, but this could go for guys too.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
This go for guys as well, because because there's some crazy ladies out there, and yeah, we're seeing them front page and center right now. So let's kind of go through some of these questions and see get a feel for them. So one question you could start off with is, when you're having a rough day, what's your go-to self-care move? Okay. And so the red flag answers is going to be, well, I just ignore it. Or I don't really let things get to me.
Oh, yes.
I've heard that one quite a bit.
Come on.
Or I go out and party and get drunk. Okay. That's if you're dating a freaking teenager. All right. So the green flag is, I take time to journal, meditate, and talk to someone I trust. That's an emotionally mature person. But the one that you're going to hear mostly is, I don't really let things get to me.
And I used to say that, and I was lying to myself, though. I was totally lying to myself.
Yeah.
I was masking because I believed when society said you don't want to look like.
Don't let them see you sweat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So just cool as a cucumber, right? But it's just a big fat lie.
And it does more harm.
Yeah, no, it really does. It really does. Yeah, because when if you're having a rough day and you do let things bother you, even though you're saying that you don't, then that's an invitation for a blow up.
Yes, it is.
And that's no good for anybody. All right. So next one is, what do you think people misunderstand about you the most? That's a good one, because most people with narcissistic tendencies are going to cringe at that question.
And they're going to lie.
Oh my God, totally. Okay, so here are the red flag answers. We've got, people always think I'm an asshole, but they just can't handle the truth. Yeah.
Run, honey.
The other red flag answer is, everyone thinks I'm cold, but that's just because I don't trust anyone.
Ooh. If you can't trust people, if you can't trust anyone, then you're not trustworthy. I'm going to run.
Yeah. All right. So your green flag answer, that's going to be, sometimes I come off as let's just say asshole. But I've been working on being clearer or gentler or whatever. So that to me says somebody who recognizes that they're not perfect and that they're taking steps to do something about it. Even if it's just a boatload of shit, at least they're thinking about it, right? It's in the right direction. Okay, tell me about a time you were wrong and how you handled it.
Ooh.
Again, another one, if they have true narcissistic tendencies, they're going to turn inside out like a salted slug to that question.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like, what? What? It'll take them a moment to even process it. You'll probably even have to repeat the question.
Yeah. Or it'll be something very self-serving for them. Yeah.
Okay, well, the red flag answers would be, I honestly can't think of one.
Yeah.
Well, I was only wrong because they misunderstood me. That's the normal one.
Yeah.
So your green flag is, well, it's hard to admit, but I learned from it and I apologized and grew.
Good.
Where's that person?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think we all have it inside of us. I think some of these behaviors grow out of fear, but I know we're going to get to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your relationship like with your exes?
Ooh.
The number one red flag is, well, all my exes were crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's the common denominator?
Right, because it can't be everybody else.
Yeah. I don't talk to any of them. They were toxic.
Ooh.
All right. The green flag answer is some ended peacefully, others were tough, but I've learned from all of them. That's absolutely the answer. I mean, I'm still friends with my first husband, but the second husband, bye, right, Felicia.
Yeah. And you have to make the choices there. Yeah.
He was the one I spent the most time with.
Right. But, there were some things that, listen, I get it.
Yeah. But, I wish him well.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak badly of him, but I know he's just very wounded, and I was hoping he would change and evolve, and he did, but not as much as I needed him to. He wasn't able to meet me where I was. So
I'm friends with my ex-husband, and we went through some tough stuff, but it took a while. It took some years
for you guys to get there.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get that way with Dennis. I really don't care to. I've had enough time with him.
Yeah.
The last several lifetimes, and he did some pretty shitty things at the end that just was beyond disrespectful. I'm done with that. So I don't need to be treated like that.
That's right. You deserve better.
Hell yeah. All right. So what's something you've had to unlearn in love?
Ooh, wow. Unlearn in love?
Yeah. And the red flag answers are, I had to stop trusting so easily.
Woo.
That's a red flag big time. And that the second red flag answer is that love isn't real.
Oh, yeah.
Bye. Yeah. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure getting to know you. Hope you have a nice life.
There was a time I believed that too. And I was a red flag. I was not somebody to date. I had to heal. Yeah.
So the green flag answer is to the question of what's something you've had to unlearn in love. And the green flag answer is that love doesn't mean control.
Ooh, I love that.
That I need to earn worth. That's a big one. That's an emotionally mature person. If your heart had a job title, what would it be? And red flag answers would be CEO. And the other one is heart. I leave that at the door.
Yeah.
No, no, you don't. No, you don't. Keep it locked under key.
You're avoiding
lock and key.
What the heart does, and that's not good.
Yeah. Green flag answers are healer, protector, explorer, pioneer. Yes. What does emotional intimacy mean to you? And of course, the red flag answers are sex, being around someone without needing to talk. To me, that is very red flag because to me, that's an unwillingness to communicate.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nice to be able to have peaceful silence with people.
But that's not peaceful silence. It's not comfortable silence.
No. Intimacy is that communication on all levels. And just sitting around just watching TV or something like that. Yeah, screw that. All right, so the green flag answer is feeling safe to be fully myself.
There you go.
Honest conversations and mutual trust. That's huge.
It is.
Yeah, because if that's not there, then there's disrespect within the relationship from one partner, and the other one is just giving their power away.
Yeah.
And boy, do I know what that feels like. And that sucks. All right. So who do you go to for advice when life gets messy? Red flag answers are nobody. I don't trust people.
Ooh.
And I just shut down. And the green flag answers are my best friend, my sister, therapist. I value, whoever. I value their perspective. So yeah, being able to ask for help and speak to people that might have a little more emotional. Keep using the word maturity or more emotional intelligence, if you will, is definitely a sign of somebody who's tapped into their self and not just into their self. All right. So ever been ghosted or ghosted someone? Yeah, I want to know this one. Red flags. Yeah, but they deserved it.
Ooh.
Or I just lose interest fast. Yeah, me too. Bye. Green flag is yes. And I learned it hurts. So I try to be direct now. Yeah.
I've been ghosted. It does hurt.
Oh, it does hurt.
Ooh.
And, but I'm at the point now that I'm like, I just say, I love it when the trash takes itself out.
Yes. Yep.
Because that's the truth. With everything that I went through from my last husband, I don't know. I don't feel jaded. I just feel more aware of the bullshit.
I was going to say,
and I'm zero tolerance. Zero tolerance is going on here. So,
recognizing your worth is big.
Yes.
They're just boundaries that I did not maintain in some of my past relationships, especially those that I got into right after going through something hurtful or going through something that broke me. And I've learned now, and you don't have to be mad. It's just whatever, but I'm going to set that boundary. And I had to, say to myself not long ago, if that's not okay, then we're just not meant to be in this type of a relationship or friendship. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with recognizing that.
No, exactly. All right. What's something you're still healing? Ooh. Yeah, these are not first date questions, I don't think.
People are gonna think they're being interviewed for a job.
Yeah, these are ones you just throw in like 2 or 3 of them at a time. Yeah. And based on your answers will determine if you're gonna accept the next date or not. What's something you're still healing? And the red flag answers nothing. I'm good.
Ooh.
Or that people suck. Well, this is true, but that shouldn't be your baseline.
And how? All people don't suck. So that's not something you're healing from. That you're broken. Still.
All people have the ability to suck.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I learned is I can be sucky sometimes.
We can all be sucky.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, but the green flag answer to that is my tendency to people please, not speak, or overgive. That's a work in progress. So that's just somebody who's aware of what they're needing to work on, and I think there's nothing more sexy than that. As somebody who's got that emotional intelligence and vulnerability, that's the big one. We know, nobody wants a big tough guy.
Yeah. So true.
Really don't.
Yeah.
And this has been, I think, more than one woman has been saying this, and it's coming through not just on TikTok, but how TikTok bleeds over to the other platforms and everything. But one of them is women saying, men, real life isn't like porn. Nobody's begging you to go deeper. That's why we're putting our hand up to stop you.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have this idea in their head that that's what women want. No, that's the idea of men thinking what women want.
That's
and
what society has created.
Yes.
And people have believed that. And that's what we have to be able to change.
Yeah. And a jacket like pump it like a jackrabbit.
Right.
Maybe some women like that, but most women don't.
But read the room. So
read the room. Yeah, a lot of guys don't know how to do that because they're so boxed into their own little thing. All right. So what's the last time you changed your mind about something big?
Mm.
And the red flag answer is I don't really change my mind.
Huh. Scary.
Yeah. And the other answer is never. I always trust my gut. Well,
Ooh, wow.
that's a bit. I don't know. That's a little overly confident.
Yeah.
Green flag answer is recently. I realized I've been seeing something from fear instead of trust.
That's a good vulnerable answer.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh, there's a good one. What's your favorite way to be loved? Now, I'm not even going to look at the answers because I know from my past experience with dudes, they're going to say something probably, they're going to want to say something crass at this point.
Oh, yeah. They're going to take it probably to sex.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they don't, you're going to see a smile crack on their face because they're going to want to say something. Right. But the red flag answers are getting what I want. When people don't bother me. What does that fucking mean?
Yeah.
The green flag answers are quality time, feeling seen. Mine
is feeling safe. I feel safe with you.
Feeling seen. I would love to be in the presence of a man who would actually say that out loud.
That's awesome.
Seriously, because I don't think I ever have. Wow. Or if I have, it wasn't for a very long time because sadly they probably had somebody else. Yeah. Okay, so quality time, feeling seen, being supported when I doubt myself.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm almost answers like that. And I'm going to be perfectly frank about this, because of the conditioning, especially OG Gen X. If I hear answers like that are like so totally in touch with your emotions. On some level, I'm going to think, oh, God, this guy's milquetoast.
Oh, right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's too in touch with his emotions because you're used to that peacock, with his fan spread out. Look at me. Mm-hmm. Look at me. So if they're saying quality time and feeling seen and being supported when I doubt myself, that's something I need to work on, is allowing that to enter into my life because that's foreign to me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You have to be able to trust that at face value.
Well, to be attracted to that because True. It would turn me off is what I'm saying. But also I don't like narcissistic asshole men either. So I guess I love my dogs.
Now, I do have a question on did you get to all of them? Is that all of them?
No, we have a couple more. Okay. All right. What kind of legacy do you want to leave?
Oh, I love that.
The red flag answers are power, control, wealth. Well, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. The other answer is I really don't care what people think. That's a bit extreme. The green flag answer is I want people to feel they could be themselves, around me. That's nice.
Another red flag answer. What does legacy mean? Sorry.
Yeah, right? All right. What's the most emotionally brave thing you've done? Red flags, told someone off, or cut everyone out of my life. Okay. Green flag answers, admitted I was scared, but did it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Do it scared.
And said I love you first.
Oh, good one.
Now that one, honestly, when a narcissist is love bombing you, it's easy for them to say I love you first.
That is true.
So that one I'm not gonna buy. Because that happened with my ex-husband. He's the one who said, I love you first. And it was very early in the relationship. I was getting love bombed. And of course, that's a part of their tackle.
Yeah.
Right.
In there.
Yep. How do you typically handle conflict? Red flag answers is I don't do drama. Well, life is a series of ups and downs.
Absolutely. And conflict doesn't have to be drama. So how was your thinking? That is some different.
Okay. Well, that's exactly how my ex used to think, that if there is conflict, that was an automatic argument.
No, absolutely not.
It was arguing. Why do you always have to argue? No, I just don't agree with you.
Right. And you can do that without there being drama.
Yes.
Just by being honest.
But that's a telltale sign of an incredibly emotionally immature person. Mm-hmm. And the other one is I just block people. And that's the same. That's basically the same answer. The green flag answer is I try to stay calm, listen, and work through it,
Yeah.
even if it's uncomfortable.
And I like the I try to stay calm because you're admitting that there is an emotional reaction. It
Well,
does impact the
yeah,
nervous
you do
system.
get jacked up
Yes, you
and
do.
triggered and whatnot. But yeah, I think these are some really helpful questions to ask while you're, scrolling through the people pool.
Yeah. If you're on online dating, I don't do that. But
I don't do that either.
and I do not begrudge anyone that avenue. I just
I've known some people that have hit the literal jackpot on with online, and the friend that I was talking about thinks she has, but time will tell. Time
Right.
will tell, because so I know how to read people, and it's screaming at me that this person is no bueno. But my friend is just going to need to have to learn this lesson on her own, and I need to butt out. So
and if that does happen, which I anticipate it probably will, you just be there. You're a great friend. Just be there, support. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Yep.
Love you in spite of.
Exactly. So
can I ask you? So let's say very often those with narcissistic tendencies and those who are full-blown narcissists, because I know we use a lot of the terminology,
right.
And a lot of times we're just describing behaviors, and the person doesn't necessarily have all of the identified markers of being a narcissist.
Right.
So let's say there's someone who is, I'm just going to say they're good at manipulation. Let me just put that behavior out there.
Okay.
And they know how to answer these questions because they do.
Yeah.
How do you avoid being taken by that?
Okay, this is where discernment comes in. And this is when it's important to develop your psychic abilities. Everybody has psychic abilities. This is when you listen to your heart and your head at the same time. A lot of times we're doing one or the other, and when we're in a dating situation, and in the case of my friend, she was thinking completely with her heart, because all she wanted was for it to stop hurting. And this person came in and knew how to push all the right buttons, say the right things, be the charming, funny person, but was clearly demonstrating some major red flag signs, but she's overlooking them because she so badly wants to feel good. Yeah. Exactly. So, when you use both your heart and your head together, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to still go for it anyway, because I had an executive meeting with myself, and here I am in my mid-20s going, Kathy, you know exactly how he is. Are you sure you want to marry him? Ooh. I did that. And I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe he's that way now, but I have faith in him that he's going to grow out of it.
Girl.
I didn't think that I was going to change him. I hate it when people say that.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to change him, but I thought just by being in a loving environment would be a good role model for him, and he would evolve out of it. And in all fairness, he did to some degree. But like I said, he wasn't still able to meet me where I was. And he still had some other tendencies that were just too disrespectful that I couldn't ignore it anymore. So, so building up your own discernment and trusting your intuition. If you ask for signs from your spirit guides, you'll get them. The trick is not to ignore them.
Good.
Right.
Yes. Good insight. Love that.
Yeah. So where are we at? We got a minute left here. All right, kids. Well, listen, next weekend we've got the summer solstice.
Yes.
Coming up. It's already hot and hell out inside right now. That's okay. We're rolling right into summer, and we're sending much love and prayers out to all of us here in the United States, especially for tomorrow. If you're listening from abroad, please send us your love. The majority of us are not in alignment with what's going on with our government, and we're going to say so this weekend. So pray for peace, and the fact that we get our message across. So we'll see you back here next Friday, 4:00 for Hippie Chicks Live.
Rest in peace, Sly Stone and Ananda Lewis and Brian Wilson.
Wilson. God only knows how we're going to get on without you, my friend. Love you guys to pieces. You all remember peace and love.
Peace and love.
We'll see you next time.